What's going on, guys? It's your boy Weaponized EX back again with another upload as promised. Today we're actually going to be doing a class setup, the best class setup in my opinion, for the Uzi. Basically it's like a kind of underrated, kind of like underutilized submachine gun, honestly, in here in Modern Warfare. Just as we're getting towards the end of the game, there's been a lot of different nerfs, there's been buffs, there's been different kind of shifts and movements back and forth, like with the submachine guns. There's been other submachine guns introduced, but the one gun I feel like doesn't get enough love is the Uzi. I don't really run into a lot of people using it. I run into like a lot of MP5s, a lot of P90s, a lot of MP7s. You know, even like I'm seeing the ISO a lot now. But man, the Uzi, I'm telling you guys, like the Uzi is slept on, man. It's out here clapping people low key. Like if some sub player, he's like sliding and jumping all over the place and then still beaming you up cross map, it's probably either it's me or he's using the Uzi. Like I'm gonna just let y'all know that right now. Yeah, the Uzi is just, it's nasty. It's out here doing nasty things. So I'm just gonna show you guys like just not my favorite class setup, but then cosmetically the Uzi that I use. I really like I think it's called Glacial Polish. Glacial Polish, I think is what it's called. But that's my favorite, like basically variant on the Uzi as far as cosmetics. And we're just gonna go ahead and get into the class setup. So first things first, I'm actually gonna do the underbarrel first. So there's kind of been some controversy about this. I know they've kind of done some weird stealth nerfs. Maybe people are saying like, oh, you know, they've basically lowered the effectiveness of the Merc foregrip. I really don't know how true that is. I have noticed that, you know, in combination with certain other attachments, sometimes you'll actually get more mobility. Like you see that little bit of green there on the mobility bar. You actually supposedly get more mobility out of the tactical foregrip, or even the operator foregrip. Like people are saying they really reduce the mobility boost you get from using Merc. Me personally, I don't really see it. I feel like it works just fine still, so I still use it on a lot of my guns. That's just me personally. So yeah, definitely Merc foregrip. I like to, with this class, still, you know, it's a submachine gun class. It's a more accurate submachine gun. It's more like a more kind of mid-close to mid-range submachine gun, but I still like to run around in the spawn. So if I'm going to be doing that, I'm definitely going to throw on a suppressor. Mono suppressor, that's going to give us damage range increase. I'm also going to use the damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control from the FFS or FSS Carbine Pro barrel. So we're going to throw that on there. Gonna go with the 50 round mags, and then I'm gonna throw on a close quarter stock. So another cool thing I really like about this Uzi setup is it just has really clean iron sights. Like just aiming down sight with this gun is just really clean. It's very unobtrusive. You'll kind of see once we get into the gameplay. It's just a really clean looking like gun to kind of shoot with. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't think about, but that's something for me personally. Like if the iron sight on a gun is good, it's extra bonus for me, because now I don't have to spend an attachment on putting a sight on it that I can shoot with, and that's, you know, clean and easy to use. So that's my favorite Uzi class setup right here. It's the best one in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and transition to some gameplay here. We're actually gonna get into a little discussion just about like settings and different things. You know, I've been kind of having some conversations with people lately about just the settings in the game and what's best. You know, what settings are good, what settings aren't. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about that as well. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get into some gameplay here. It's like a quick little 10v10 TDM on a Petrov oil rig. So this is like a newer map. I think this is like a season 5 drop right here. I honestly don't remember if this is like from a previous COD or not, but it's kind of like one of the newer maps in rotation. So just talking about settings, like I've been having some conversations with people lately, just going back and forth, like, well, what's the best settings to use? Like, especially in this particular Call of Duty, you just got so many options. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. You can mess with dead zones, you can mess with how your aim assist works, and even just the different sensitivities you can get outside of ADS and inside ADS. It's some options that we didn't have before on previous Call of Duty games. So that's one thing I like about this COD in particular. It's just how many options it gives you. So I do use the Scuff controller. I got the, you know, little Scuff Vantage 2 right here. Great controller, by the way. Might do a review for that at some point in the future. I actually just got it repaired. I did have a little breakdown with it, but I was able to get it, send it back to stuff, and they kind of fix it up and send it back to me. But as far as settings, what I use, I'm one of those players, I do play on a higher sensitivity. Nothing crazy, like I'm not out here playing on like 10, 15, 20 sensitivity, but I do play on 9.9. That's just something I've been playing on for a while with shooter games. My like actual aim down sight sensitivity is actually 1:1, so I don't like slow it down or speed it up at all. I just leave it how it is. So my sensitivity basically stays the same whether I'm aiming down or whether I'm zoomed in or not. And then as far as my aim assist, I think I have it on standard. Yeah, 9.9 standard. I have my vibration turned off, and I pretty much, that's just what I'm most comfortable with. The controller setting I use is bumper jumper. So basically what it is, my whole philosophy, 'cause I used to claw a lot, like before I started playing on stuff, I used to claw a lot basically. I don't know if I can kind of turn my controller where you can see it. So I hit my face buttons, or that's how I used to play. I would hit my face buttons with my pointer finger right here. Obviously with the scuff you have the paddles underneath, so I can kind of play like that now. But that's what I would do. I would basically just hit my face buttons with my index or pointer finger, and I would basically have the controller set up where the only time I would ever have to do that, because I felt like it was a little uncomfortable for me, was to either reload or to melee, which are two things that, you're going to reload pretty often, but it's not that, you're just hitting square on this controller setting, so it's not that hard to do, and then you're hitting circle to melee. So that what is the setting that I play on, because that's what's most comfortable for me. So getting to my point, with settings, I really don't feel like there is a best or worse settings you can use. I really feel like, especially with this Call of Duty, they kind of like went in with that philosophy. It's all about just getting your settings to a point where playing is most comfortable for you. That's really all you're trying to do. Like, honestly, I feel like people get a little bit too into the whole, well, what settings should I be playing on? What sensitivity should I be playing on? To be honest, like, there's other things you need to be working on. If you're really trying to get good at this game, or trying to get good at any game, I feel like there's other things you need to be working on. Like, you need to be working on map awareness, like your actual fundamental, like shooting, just like, your actual map awareness, your positioning, your rotations, like things like that. That's all the stuff like that I'm kind of working on. And it's like, those things are going to affect your gameplay way more than, like what sensitivity you're playing on. If you're just moving it, 1 or 2 points, it's like, at the end of the day, like, you just kind of have to be good at the game, So you want to be practicing your fundamentals. I think some people get this idea in their head that, oh, if I, have to find the perfect settings, that'll make me that much better of a player. It's like, no. It's something where you have to find a sweet spot where you can get comfortable and kind of get warm and get hot on the sticks like as fast as possible. So, I don't know if you guys have seen my top warm-up video, but like that's a good way to just experiment with settings. Throw some bots on the map. And just like shoot some bots and kind of, experiment with different settings and see what feels the most comfortable for you. So I don't really feel like a faster sensitivity is necessarily better. Some people said, on faster sensitivities you tend to miss more. I mean, I don't know about that. But I will say this. One thing I have experienced, because I've played on both, I've tried both, and I've always gone back to a higher sensitivity. I do feel like your movement is a little bit, it feels slower when you're on a lower sensitivity. Like, it's a little bit harder to do certain movements within the game, whereas I had to move my mouse there a little bit, just keep my monitor awake. But whereas with a faster sensitivity, I feel like your movements are a little bit quicker. You can kind of jump and turn corners and do things a little bit easier as far as your movements are concerned. So that's one of the reasons why. I mean, you can see from the gameplay, like I like, slide canceling around corners. Like, I'm kind of a very like movement heavy play style. So that's just, being on a higher sensitivity helps me with that. It makes me feel more comfortable with that. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a sub player, if you're a player who plays on a higher sensitivity, you absolutely have to play, that play style. Like, it's just what's comfortable for me. I've known players who are like, have crazy movement, like, who play on like a lower sensitivity. I don't exactly know, for my brain, that just doesn't compute to me. I don't know how they put it together, but it works. So, everybody's different, and like, every player is different. I feel like the whole point with the settings is just, hey, find something that makes you feel as comfortable as possible playing. and then literally just, you know, go with that. You know, go with whatever makes you feel the most comfortable holding your controller. So I got the final kill cam here, nice. They didn't show all of it though. I think I hit like a 4-piece there, but they didn't show the end of it. But so that's gonna do it for our, you know, discussion on settings. You know, in 28.2, that's a little 14.0, a little quick TDM. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're definitely gonna be uploading some more videos and gameplays here in the future. Probably gonna be doing some more class setup videos here in a little bit soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.